right. Another episode of NFL Live Stream of Consciousness. Definitely subscribe. Um, Thank you for tuning in. We're going to record these every day, and I just finished cleaning up for my Super Bowl party. So thank you for being patient with your boy. But I'm going to get on and talk about the game. Great game, 23-20. Follow my advice. A few of our prop bets hit. Uh, I really told people to pound the non-quarterback winning MVP. That was, I think, plus 240. We definitely hit on that if you follow that one. Um, what else did we hit on? We hit on Aaron Donald more than one sack. That one, we hit on that. We hit on, I believe we has Von Miller over one sack. Put a lot of action on Odell Beckham, and we'll talk about the game in a little bit here. None of those bets hit, and obviously Cooper Kupp won the MVP. So I predicted the Rams to win the game, to win it comfortably. I just thought that they couldn't keep up with the Rams offense, and I think that changed obviously when Odell Beckham got hurt. He scored the first touchdown of the game. I don't think that they had anyone to match up with him on the perimeter. Jefferson, I think that Skelnick came in, and Skelnick immediately dropped a pass, which was intercepted after the injury. So I think that just completely changed the complexion of the game. And it made it more of a game that I felt that the Bengals could win. I thought the Bengals were going to win the game after that injury, to tell you the truth. I think that they did not capitalize on their opportunities after that interception of off of the drop pass. I thought it was critical for them to score a touchdown. They didn't. They had to settle for a field goal. I really thought one of the keys to the game was the Bengals just didn't run the ball enough. One prop bet that I had action on, and I told people who liked the Bengals to win the game or to cover, was to take Joe Mixon as the MVP. And he only had 15 touches. It seemed like they were consistently getting good things out of the run game. And they dropped back to pass in the game that they were leading for most of the second half, 33 times, while Joe Mixon only got 15 carries. I think they should have really leaned on the run. It was the second half that the boys started to hunt, as my brother was saying at the party, with multiple people getting sacks. I think how many times they sacked them? Just sacked them seven times, I believe. Yeah, 7 times. And obviously, there's a couple of Aaron Donald plays that didn't get counted as sacks, that were pretty much sacks, especially the game-winning play where he disrupted it, and Joe Burrow had to get rid of the ball quick. And, one of the ways that you negate the pass rush is to run the ball, and they had a lot of success running the ball. The Rams, conversely, did not have that much success running the ball. And I think that, when we look towards the future, I think the Bengals should devote a lot of assets to fixing the offensive line. And I think the Rams have to do the same thing. They just could not run the ball at all. Whitworth didn't have the greatest game. He's over 40. It's time for them to, maybe pay the piper, so to speak, with their team that they front loaded so much. So it was good for them to get the win. It was good for Rams fans. Congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to the owner, to Snead, for going after it. As a fan of other teams, sometimes you get frustrated with your team that they don't put the investment into making your team better. It seems like I've talked about this a lot in basketball and nauseum, but even football, just the conservative nature of GMs and just owners in general frustrates me. And this is just a team that seems like they're going for it. And, they went for it. I think, once again, if Odell would have played the whole game, I think he probably would have won MVP, and this wouldn't have been close. But, anything that they needed, they went after, and they went after it hard. So, it came out before the game, or when the game started, that Aaron Donald was considering, retiring after this game. So that'll be it. If that is true, then I mean, yeah, the Rams would have to pay the piper, indeed. But that's all questions for the off season. I think right now they enjoy it, but I thought it was a great game. There were some complaints about missed calls towards the end. I think that mess offensive pass interference in the first half was terrible. There were some missed calls as far as a false start. People complained about the defensive holding call, but hey, official's going to official. The game is the game. They don't. They did a mutiny last year or 2 years ago when they tried to put in the pass interference challenge. So uh, I don't know what you can really do about it. I think that Roger Goodell should try to get a hold of his officiating and try to get things better. I think that that's been something that Alden Silver has kind of looked at. There was a situation where everything was being challenged and every play was being reviewed, and they took that out of the game and gave teams one challenge. And I think that was too hard of a swing the other way, but I understand the sentiment because this seemed like a problem, and there is a problem with NFL officiating. NFL officiating, this is one of the things I'm going to talk about in the off season. Half of these guys are lawyers and work in investment firms during the week, and then on Sunday they're deciding games that people have hundreds of millions of dollars bet and billions of dollars in stake in teams' valuation and players' contracts and things like that going forward. So it just make sense. Like, how could someone with that much control of the game be a part-time employee and then working another job where they're giving effort? These are not nonsense jobs. Being a lawyer like Ed Hockley was, he's dealing with some serious business. His law firm handled some serious cases. So how is someone handling serious cases Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, and then coming Sunday to decide the Rams versus the Vikings with billions of dollars, literally billions of dollars at stake when you think about valuation, player contracts, coaches' contracts, dozens of lives in their hand. Teams win and lose, staffs, players get cut, staffs get fired. These are, we never look at the human element of sports, but these are players with kids and families and things of that nature, coaches with kids and families and schools and things. It just doesn't make sense to me. The NFL's got to get their officiating together. um the halftime show, I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. It was just cool to see all these LA legends. Really, it really was just a homage just to Dr. Dre. Mary J. Blige is Diddy's protege, but um, you know everything from Dre to Snoop to Eminem to Kendrick Lamar, that's all from the cloth of Dr. Dre, one way or another. So that was just great to see it. That thing at the beginning of the Super Bowl with The Rock, I just felt like it went on too long. The Rock is my favorite wrestler. You're gonna see me use a lot of his imagery in the Who Has the Belt series. Check that out next week. But it just seemed like it went on too long, and uh, you know, there's this Mark Twain quote that if I had more time, I would have wrote you a shorter letter. And I think they had time to plan for it, and they could have seen that that was just like, come on, let's get the game going. They had Michael Buffer doing "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." Like I thought that was perfect. Like, why? What I'm saying? Like, why try to recreate the wheel? I didn't understand that. Another thing that I thought was funny, Super Bowl commercials, they were good. Everybody's talking about the Coinbase commercial. I like the Sopranos homage commercial. I like that one. That was dope. A couple other ones were good. My man Jordan Peele, once again, is doing it with the Nope. That was funny. That was a funny commercial. Shout out to my man doing this thing. And last but not least, I have to call out Eli Apple. If you haven't watched it, there's this Super Gremlin remix, Kodak Black song, his diss track to one of his ops. And Eli Apple, the cornerback for the Bengals, the man who gave up the game-winning touchdown to Cooper Kupp. his previous team's fan bases, the Saints and the Giants, have joined forces to just attack and ridicule and troll this man at every step he makes. I mean, I think Eli Apple's been kind of, talking spicy on Twitter. So a lot of teams enjoyed and reveled in the fact, and fans reveled in the fact that he gave up that game-winning touchdown. Just to go back on the game once again, it just came to me, the Bengals not double covering Cooper Kupp on every play after Odell got hurt. That's mispractice. That's malpractice by them. Malpractice to only run the ball with Mixon 15 times. Just the coaching decisions by the Bengals in particular were just odd to me. They were just odd. And I know a lot of people didn't like the Rams play calling because they weren't getting anything out of the run game, but I understand the Rams running the ball at least to keep the defense offense, because if you really look at the game, they didn't pass protect well. So I do understand that from that sense, but the Bengals, they just, after you take that lead on the offensive pass interference that wasn't called, you got to double cover a couple. That's where they're going, fam. Higbee's hurt. Van Jefferson is obviously not up to snuff. The first time they threw what's this guy's name? Skoranek, the ball, he dropped it. The ball is going to Kupp. Why isn't he double covered on every play? Bill Belichick has given this blueprint. Take the other team's best weapon away. Make them go to someone else. That on that play, how is he one-on-one? Make it make sense. Especially when I can understand that you had to have a safety in the box if they're killing you on the run. You've been swallowing up the run the whole game. He should be bracketed. It's just, Bengals fans, I think that one's going to hurt, because I think that was the opportunity. Once Odell got hurt, the opportunity to steal the Super Bowl was right there in front of you. You got to take those opportunities. You don't know when they're going to come. So we'll see if they, I think they need to spend all their resources in fixing that offensive line and getting another cornerback. But we'll definitely see what happens this offseason. But all in all, this is a great Super Bowl. I think it should do good numbers because of, it was a tight Super Bowl, and, they had, both teams had opportunities to win. So, and there was star power there. So in LA, just to stargaze, the amount of fans that came out. Super Bowl was my city and I wasn't there. So, next year the Super Bowl's in Glendale. I'm cool off that. Vegas, 2024. They say Vegas. I must be there. So, y'all keep supporting, man. Hopefully, I got the press pass and, we're doing it big. All right. Full, more in-depth breakdown tomorrow, and the off-season schedule. There's so many things to talk about as far as team moves. Kyler Murray, a lot of stuff popped up with him where he said he's upset at the team. I talked about that on a previous episode. I don't understand how he cannot understand. I don't understand how he doesn't understand that this is the NFL and you attack, and all the blame and all the praise goes to the quarterbacks. That's what happens. If you look at the gambling, it was plus 240 that a non-quarterback was going to win Super Bowl MVP, because that's what happens. Whoever team wins quarterback is generally the Super Bowl MVP. Every year when they give out the MVP awards, it's generally a quarterback award. The quarterback gets all the praise and all the blame. That's what you signed up for. Do you not know the assignment? If you don't like it, that's what's going to happen anywhere, though. You play the way that you played in the playoffs, that's what's going to happen anywhere. I don't know what's happening internally. They're saying the kid is selfish. People have complained about his body language. And once again, he says he's a fan of Bruce Lee, but he's not showing me the traits. It's just like in the league where all these kids are talking about they love Kobe, but they're not moving the way that Kobe moved, with the work ethic and a lot of things. So, I'll get more into that tomorrow. And then Carson Wentz, it looks like the Eagles completely did fraud and scammed the Colts. They already done with him. The owner's like, nah, we ain't running that back. We're not running it back. He didn't want to get vaccinated. And, it looks like that the national nightmare with vaccines and COVID and mask mandates is getting dropped here in LA. So forget about what goes on with that. But that was something that his team wanted him to do. His employer wanted to do. Well, however you feel about it. He shouldn't have to do it irregardless. Okay, that was step number one. And then his play this season just didn't help. And you have his own coach saying he's stubborn. He don't want to listen. There's only so much you can get away with. And this guy is still young in his league, so he's gonna have to decide. I guess he's been paid handsomely. So, hey, take the money and run if that's all you care about. But I mean, you're still a really young guy, and you still have tons of talent. Do you want to do things your way, or do you want to do things the right way? Do you want to be right, or do you want to get it right? So, yeah, we'll see more about that. But yeah, the quarterback course carousel in the NFL is about to be crazy. A lot of teams with a lot of stuff that came out today as well. That Brady to the Niners might be a thing. Brady back to Tampa. Deshaun Watson to Tampa. This is going to be a hot summer. That's what when you feel the beef burbling on the block, it's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a hot summer in the NFL. I think a lot of things are moving. Another thing that came out today, Snyder. Owners are getting tired. They might make a move on Snyder, but once again, I think that might backfire. Snyder seems like the type, mutually assured destruction that doesn't move him at all. It seems like he might go kamikaze and everybody goes down. Y'all try to take me down, everybody goes down. And those emails seem like it's too hot just to be him. For them to treat it that way, it feels like it's too much stuff in there that is just him. Because if it's just him and, half the league doesn't like him as it is, at least that's what the reports are, I think they would have let him out. So all these interesting things to see. All right, get at you. Games again.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. Always.